It is trash to mini treasure today. We are making these adorable enameled pans from the jelly packets. So hurry up and eat your jelly toast, but don't you dare throw this away. It's pretty good. Hello, my crafty dolls. Welcome to my craft room. I am Grandma Katie. I am so glad you're here. I want to say I absolutely love doing miniatures. It is for the dollhouse. It is one of my favorite things to do. It's very de-stressing and it's a really nice hobby. Get you off your phone, but that's not entirely true. I do use my phone to listen to podcasts and to watch movies on my phone. So, but at least I'm not scrolling. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you back because I want to share with you all of my tips and tricks. And also share with you my favorite segment, which is trash to mini treasure. And today we are making little enameled pans from those little packets, either from honey or barbecue sauce or jelly. Look how cute these are. So cute. And all it is paint. But you have to use the right paint. So when doing this project, you need to use the model paint. And guys, these are over in the model section of the craft store. Also, hardware stores have these too. So, and they're pretty inexpensive. You can buy a whole pack of, your basic colors for about $10. And they come with brushes too. So it's kind of nice. Some of them also come with paint thinner. If you do buy these and you want to save your brushes, make sure you pick up a little paint thinner. And this is an absolute must for this project because this is plastic and this is the best paint to use. So you won't give yourself any headaches. Also, you're going to be using my favorite antique medium. I love this stuff. This is going to give us a really stuck on, dingy, grimy pan. I like the old look of dingy, grimy. So this is what's going to give us that. So this is over in the paint section of the craft store. It's right next to the acrylic paints. It's kind of by the specialty paints. So you can find that over there. And they have different colors. This is nutmeg, but they do have other colors. Okay, do you guys do this too? Do you guys have a little box in your kitchen that you collect garbage in? Because, everything has a potential. Obviously I have the pizza little stool things. Those could be a table. I have like 4 of them in here. The lids for the cat food can. Guys, who knows? I might need this one day. Can't go in the garbage. And obviously I save the little jelly packs from the diner or the honey packs or barbecue sauce from McDonald's. Now, I am not encouraging theft here, but if you're at the diner and you're sitting at the table and maybe a couple of these just happen to go in your purse, like the little butter containers, so they're even smaller. Those might end up in your purse. Maybe. Or the best thing to do is to put a little plastic bag in your purse. So when you use them at the restaurant, you can put the dirty ones in your purse and you don't get your purse all dirty. Just saying. That's not sure how these got here, but we'll see. Okay, guys, let's get started. This is a fun one and easy. And really all it is just fancy painting. So let's get started. Okay, I have all of my little pans all cleaned out. I'm using 2 honeys. These are honeys from McDonald's. And then I have 1 jelly, those little jelly packets you see at the diner. And I'm just going to do 3 of them right away. So I'm going to show you variations on the enamel pans. I got blue and I got red and yellow. So if you see on the honey, it has this really nice edge on there, this like little lip on here. So we're going to keep that on there. But of course on the side here we have a little extra and that we're going to cut off flush. But on the other side it almost looks like handles. So I'm just going to keep those on there. So that'll be perfect. But on this honey, this one doesn't have the 2 handles on both sides. One's missing. So we're just going to cut off all of those extra flaps, those rough edges, whatever they're called. And on the jelly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make handles. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to measure, and we're going to mark out the center. So on the jelly, it's about an inch wide. The pan, the actual pan is about an inch wide. So I'm just going to measure, find the center. My ruler is old and it's hard to read the numbers, especially for me. Use a permanent marker so we don't lose our lines. So just mark the center, and then you can make your handle as wide as you want. So I'm going to make it about a 1/4 inch out from that center. So I'm going to mark a 1/4 inch out from the center. All right, and I'm going to do that on the other side. We are just going to make a line, and I'm just eyeballing it. And that's what it should look like. We have our little handles cut out. Now on the jelly, we do want to have a lip, but these lips are probably a little too wide. So we're going to cut around here, but we're not going to cut all the way flush. We don't want that. We want to keep a lip. So we're going to leave a tiny little bit on the side. And you can use scissors or you can use an X-Acto knife. Honestly, I find the scissors are just easier. I'm just going to cut around, leaving a tiny little lip. All right, that looks good. We're going to go around the edge, and it's rounded. So you're going to round all the way to that first mark. I'm just going to snip that off. And again, I am just eyeballing this, guys. It doesn't have to be totally precise. Okay, and there you go. And there is our pan so far. Has the handles. You know what? It almost looks like my handles are a little off center. That's okay. Like I said, my ruler is a little off. No one's going to know. I don't think Martha Stewart is going to be coming to my kitchen and telling me that my handles are off-centered. But that's okay. It's just garbage. We can handle it. Okay, so the handles on the edge, I am going to just round that off a little bit. Just get off that little corner. Let's stab ourselves. You guys are going to do a better job measuring than I am. I'll do better next time. But there you go. So far, it already looks like a pan. You can just throw that right into the dollhouse. It looks perfect. Okay, so for this one's easier because I'm just cutting off this extra edge on here, and we're just going to leave that big rim around the pan. Look at that, perfect. So that one is ready to go. Now this one only had the one handle, so I'm going to cut off both. Okay, so I have all three of my pans. I have the jelly, and then I have the 2 honey. So this is the fun part. This is get to choose your color and how you want your pan to look. Some enamel pans are colored on the outside and white on the inside. Some of them are colored on the inside and white on the outside, or they're colored all the way around, inside and out, with a trim. So be creative. Look up some old enamel pans if you want. Maybe you have some in your kitchen. I do. I have one in my kitchen. I have this one. So this one's all white with a blue accent. So they're all different. And this one I'm going to make red all the way around. And then I think this one I'm going to do blue on the inside and then white on the outside. And then this one I think I'm going to do yellow, and then we'll do maybe a speckle. This one will have speckles on it. Now you're going to need 2 coats of this paint. So I'm just going to put 2 coats of paint on all of my pans. All right, I am finished. I put 2 coats on each of my pans. Here's my yellow one, and I left the inside white, the blue one outside, and I did the inside blue, and then here's the red one, all finished. Took a long time between coats to dry, so be patient. You don't want any gummy paint, so make sure they dried in between coats really well. In fact, I went outside and played with my dog while these were drying. Holly needed some extra playtime. So, and plus this stuff is really stinky, so I needed some air. So being outside in the icy cold weather was kind of refreshing a little bit. Okay, so before my little pan here, my handles are off center and it's really bothering me. At first it didn't bother me, but now that I'm looking at it, it's bothering me. So I'm going to fix that real quick. Because who knows, Martha Stewart might come by. And she will notice. All right, that looks so much better. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I am going to start with the red one, and I'm going to make the handle and the top edge all black. And I'm even going to go underneath here and make this black. And usually you might need 2 coats for this. Maybe by the handle, you might need 2 coats. And then don't forget to get the sides. See that little white side there? And I'm going to do the bottom too. So I'm going to do underneath here too. So, all right, I think I'm done with that. It looks good. I mean, I don't even think I need to put on a second coat on the rim there. A lot of these old enameled pans, I mean, they were pretty beat up, so a lot of that paint would have chipped off, which we are going to recreate a little later when it dries. But look at you guys. That looks like a brand new pan. This blue one, I just did the blue. I did the blue in the middle and on the outside, and then I did a trim on the outside. And that's it. I'm not going to add any more color to this one. All right, and then for the yellow one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put red on the outside trim here, and then we're going to do a speckled red. So it'll be a speckled enameled pan. To do the speckle, you're going to want to put your pan in either a plastic bin or a box so you don't make a mess. And you're going to dip a piece of stick or a toothpick and a toothbrush. So you're going to dip the stick into some paint and then scrape that toothbrush, and that'll give you the splatter on the pan. Okay, that looks really good. We got a little spackle on there. We're going to work on the red pan. Guys, it looks so cute already. Okay, so now we're going to age this a little bit. Here is that old enamel pan I have, and as you can see all the roughed up edges, especially around the handles. Looks like it got dropped. It's all flaking off. So we are going to recreate that look. Just going to take my black paint. You're just going to create those little imperfections. So usually they happen around the handle. So scraping, we're just going to dab Dab, dab. Maybe on the corner here, just a little around the edge. And you can add as many defects as you want. The inside of the pan. So I'm going to start again by the handle where the screws would be. That would hold on the handle. Those would get worn off. Do a little bit in the corner. All right, there you go. That looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Okay, next on our old pot here, you can kind of see where the chips aren't perfectly chipped. You can see some of the white coming through. So I'm going to add that to my little pan. I'm going to add a little bit more detail. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of white on my little, on a little bit of chips there, and just add a little bit of white. Like little dots. You don't have to do this, but I like to just add a little bit more detail. Add just a little bit. Gives it a little bit more chippiness. Is that a word? You know, even around the edge here, it's chipped in the black. I'm going to add some white there that it's chipped. Okay, my pans are all dry. They look good, but they look too new. We need to antique these a little bit more. Give them the extra dinge. The years of baking and the stuck on grease in the corners. That's really what's going to make them look old. And I'm going to be using my favorite antiquing medium. This is going to be right next to the acrylic paints. Great stuff to have, and it comes in different colors. This is, let's see, nutmeg. So it does come in different colors. I get the basic brown. Brown is a good dinge color. And basically, we're just going to add some rust and some dirt, and especially under the rim there. That's where a lot of the grease collects. And the best thing to do is just use your finger and smudge it on. And I am just going to go over those chips, especially under the rim there, around the outside. And you're going to see that bright white kind of fade, which is what we want. We want those white spots to be there, but we want them to fade a little bit. So, and again, you can add as much as you want, as much old dirt and grime as you want. I like to add a lot. And again, this is why I don't get my nails done. Look at my nails. I'm full of paint. Looks like I'm bleeding. When you craft a lot, yeah, I don't even bother with my fingernails. Now the inside, we're going to do the same thing. And we're just going to smear that in there. Get in the corners. And just use your finger to smear that in. And because of the plastic, it's just really going to smear all in there. And if it's too much, you can always get a wet rag or a little towel and wipe it up. Now it does have, you know, that lettering on the bottom. I just ignore that. I always have something in my pat, so it covers that up. That looks really good, you guys. We got the dinge in there. It's very well seasoned pan. And again, if it's too much, just go ahead and wipe it off. But that looks really good. Look at the outside. We got the dirt, the grime. Looks like it's been in the oven one too many times. That's what we want. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other ones. Okay, here are our pans. They look really cool. Very nice. They look old, a little chipped, a little dingy. Been in the oven one too many times. And I put some with some vegetables in it. Have them stacked up in the kitchen. Okay, I have this old little pan I made. This is the first one I made, and I didn't do it right. I cut off too much around the edge. I was experimenting, and I thought, oh, I can't just throw it away. So I'm going to make something fun. I'm going to make a little planter for the garden because it's Wisconsin. It's cold. It's in the middle of February. We have a long way to go until it's springtime. Probably like July is when spring comes. No, it's awful. I mean, March is muddy and brown, and it doesn't really start to get nice around here until about April, mid-April. So I thought I would do something fun with this and make a planter for the garden. Get me into the spring, summer spirit. So when you're shopping for fake flowers for the dollhouse, you always want to look for little flowers and little leaves. You don't want the big stuff. And I like the waxy ones. And these are really cheap. They're really inexpensive. See how small they are? They're waxy. So those are going to give us the best little flowers for our little pot here. Here are our little flowers. Got yellow ones, white ones, and I got some leaves and some tall stringy things. Okay, and so for the bottom of the pot, I am just going to put some moss. And I'm going to use my trusty old hot glue gun. I hate using the hot glue gun, but in this case, it works perfectly. Just going to put a little bit of hot glue on here, and we are just going to build up a base at the bottom. There we go. I do this all the time in my own garden. I take old pots, take teacups, teapots, anything. I go to the Goodwill store, thrift shop, whatever, and I buy stuff and I drill a hole in the bottom and I put flowers in it. So I thought, why not do that with my dollhouse? And we can just arrange the flowers and just be creative. All right, I am almost done with this. And boy, this is really getting me into the spring, summer spirit. I just love doing stuff like this. There we go. That is going to go into the garden of my dollhouse. An old pan made into a planter. How cute is that? All right, let's go to the dollhouse and see how all these pans look in the kitchen and in the garden. All right, here's Grandma Kitty in the kitchen. Here is her little enameled pan on the stove, and we have a stack of them on top of the stove. Come on, those look awesome. They look real. I absolutely love them. And here is the enamel pan with the flowers in it. Cute. I love it. All right, let's go around to the back. into the back garden, and let's see how it looks back there. So I can't decide if I'll put it in the garden or on the porch. I guess I'll have to make another one. All right, my crafty dolls, that is it for me today. I hope you had fun with this one. It is amazing what you can do with a little bit of paint and a little bit of garbage, a little bit of honey, a little bit of jelly. These enameled pans are probably one of my favorite things I've made. They really do look real, and I guarantee if you make these, you're going to be showing them off to your friends. Guess what this used to be? You'll never guess. And don't worry if you make a mistake. Make a little potted plant for the porch or for the garden. So guys, let me know in the comments how you did. And if you don't know what to say, just give me a yellow heart. I'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.